everyone. Okay, bit of standing sequence today with a little bit of balance, okay? Just a little bit in kind of calf raises and knee folds, as well as just a standard sequence mobilising through the spine. So we're going to start feet hip width apart, have a little glance down, just check the position in your feet. Maybe just shift your weight backwards and forwards just a little bit to feel the weight to the front and back of the foot to help you to find your centre position. So ball of the foot in the centre of the heel. Lift your toes up and then just splay your toes as you place them down, finding the lift and the arches of your feet. So think neutral in your pelvis. Think from the inside edge of the foot up through the inside midline, pubic bone, navel, breastbone and nose. Soften your rib cage but lifting your breastbone. Lengthen your collarbones, lengthening the back of your neck, just softly pressing the head back behind you so your head carriage isn't forwards here. We're just going to take a nice big arm circle here, or shoulder circle if you prefer, if that's not comfortable in your shoulder. Inhale and exhale. Maybe take the arms back a little bit further if you can, just to open out in the front of the shoulder area from there. Let's just place the hands onto the pelvic halves to do our first roll down, just to check that you're not shifting backwards with your bottom as you move. So have a sense of keeping your pubic bone to your fingertips here as you start from the top of the spine with the pivoting around your ears and softening your breastbone, forward flexing. Keep the tailbone drawing down for as long as possible, and then you'll get to a point where your bottom's going to want to move. So let that happen, and then pulling that tailbone back through to restack, to come back up, to stand from there. Take that circle, or shoulder circle if you prefer, into that roll down again. Bring your hands to here. From the top of the spine, scoop that tummy up and in, coming directly over the tops of your feet. Allowing your pelvis to rotate, let your arms relax, and then actively pulling that tailbone through to restack. Come back up to stand from there. Take your hands up and behind your head. Across your chest is fine if that's uncomfortable in your shoulder. Press the head back just a fraction into your hands, and then lead with your eyes to look up first, and then to lengthen and arc over towards those shoulder tips. But keep the bottom quite still, don't move from your lower back, watch the bottom sticking out. Just thinking your thoracic spine up and over towards those shoulder tips, and to come back to the centre. Do that one more time, lengthening up, just watch hunch in your shoulders as well, and then to come back to the centre and to bring the arms down. So let's just link that a little bit together. Take a nice big arm circle or shoulder circle into your roll down, forward bend, and up and over the tops of your feet. Putting your tailbone through, rotating your pelvis backwards to restack, to come back up. Take your hands up and behind your head. Press the head softly back into the hands, shoulders down a little bit there. Look up, lengthen and lift up into your extension. And then to come back to the centre and to circle around. Bring your arm up to the ceiling. Big stretch up on this side. Think from the outside edge of the foot to the fingertips on this hand here, and then come down on this side here. So take the head with you, not too much of a ear to shoulder, but just let the head go with you. So reach down, reach up at the same time. Take a little bend in your knees without moving your arm that's reaching up, and then push down. So it's just going to increase the stretch a little bit down around the hip side here as you go into that softening of your knees to push to stand. And again, inhale, exhale, inhale, bend, big reach, exhale, stand. And again, side bending, no rotating, keep everything facing forwards, little bends, and push and stand from there. Bring your hands touch in front, shoulders back and down. We're going to rotate. You're going to pull back in your elbow tip and just look at the elbow as you're going. Watch tipping back here, okay, keep these front ribs connected, and maybe just reach very softly forwards with this front hand, and that might help you not to tip back. So then looking at the elbow and then opening out, keep your pelvis forwards, let the arm drop to circle to come back round. reaching forwards gently as you pull that elbow tip back. Pelvic halves are facing towards the front, so try to think of keeping that facing forwards. Think almost like the headlamps on those pelvic halves, and the beam of the light is facing directly forwards there. So reach and pull back, open and twist and lower. Watch the shoulder of the arm that's pulling back. So avoid, as you open this arm here, avoid this, okay? You want to keep that shoulder down as you're rotating. Circle and back. One more. Pull forwards and back. And rotate. And then circle. And then let's add this on. Inhale, lift. Exhale. Roll down. So if you're not doing forward flexion, remember for yourself, you'll know your alternative to hinge from the hips and just to come into a flat back and then to come up to stand from there, yeah? Hands behind the head, cup around the back of the head, press back, open slightly, lengthen, lift and extend, and to come back to the centre and to circle round from there. Reach up in your arm, big stretch up. Reach down on this side. Keep thinking of the lengthening up through the fingertips, little softening in your knees. Push through your feet and stand. Other side, big stretch to reach up. Slide and reach down. Soften in the knees, push and stand. And again, we'll focus on length here. And little bend and stand. Last one, reach up, reach down, bend, keep lengthening and lift. Push through the feet, press the hands together, not too high in your arm position. Pull back without tipping back, opening out, twist a little further, let the arm just drop to turn, to bring it back. Pull back and forwards gently, open and again. Reach and down. Last one. Pull forwards gently as you pull back. Find a nice breathing pattern in your rotation. And then bring your hands onto your thighs. You're going to flex from your hips, you're going to stretch in your hamstrings. So as you flex from your hips, have a sense of sending your sit bones up. You can bend your knees a little bit more if you need to here. Think the position in your head and through your spine. I want you in neutral. So press up softly into the skin of the back of the neck and also into the back of the neck and glide your shoulders down your back. So your weight might be back a little bit in your heels here. So it's quite a good cheat. So bring your weight to the ball of the foot. Yeah, so you're a little bit more equally weighted. If your legs are quite straight, you might need to bend them a bit here now. So do make sure you get the hamstring stretch first. And then we're just going to move into cat and cow. Okay, so remember, not too much from the chin and the neck. It's the lengthening of the collarbones and the lifting of your breastbone that brings you into that extending position. And use your hands on your thighs because that will really help you to get that movement through your back, yeah? And then rolling all the way up to come up to stand from there. We're going to link this all together just the once and then we're going to go into some balance. Lift and circle into roll down, up and over the tops of your feet. And then pull your tailbone through, re-stack in to come back up. Take your hands behind your head, cup around the back of the head and lengthen and extend over. Keep the tailbone down, come back to the centre, lift circle from there. You're going to reach up in your arm into a nice side stretch, slide down on that side, take a little softening in the knees and then push and stand. Reach up and reach down and then a little bend and then stand. Bring your hands together, rotating, pull back, keep your pelvis forwards, turning, twist and down. So remember you're turning your head, your breastbone, your ribs and your waist, but your pelvis stays where it is. Do one more each side of these. Reaching, pulling, through, back, twist Last one. And reach. And then circle. Hands onto the thighs. Flex from your hips. Send your bottom up. Think where your weight is in your feet. Find your neutral. Bring this chin in a fraction. Hold your stretch. Nice stretch into the hamstrings. Bending the knees a little bit into your cat and cow. Press that breastbone forwards. Think where your stiff areas are. So don't just push into the areas that move easier. Think more where your tightness is and try to work through those tighter areas there. And then rolling all the way up to come up to the top. A little bit in balance. Bring your arms forwards. Roll your shoulders down. Transfer the weight forwards, squeezing your bottom to rise up and to lower. So work in your own time here with these rises. Think of the front of the foot coming directly forwards, pressing down into the bases of the big and the second toes. Think of there being a connection between the big toe all the way up the inside line of your legs to your pubic bone. And that might help you just work a little bit more into your inside line, which will help you in your balance here. On your next one, stay lifted. Lift your arms up first, if you can, and then lower the heels and circle around. Arms come forwards, rising up. Lift the arms, lower the heels and circle around. Two more if we can here. Rising up. Lift the arms, lower the heels, circle. One more. And lift, lower and circle. Reach down through your arms. Lift the heel of one foot. So we're just going to go into a little bit of standing knee fold. So strong in your standing leg. Use the buttock on this side. So lengthen up. You're already balancing with just the lift of the heel. So if this is enough for you, stay here. Otherwise, just hover the foot off the floor. If you can take it more into a standing knee fold, then do so. Watch hitching. You want to drop this hip down, but think all the way up through the inside line of the leg, all the way up through the midline here. Lift and lengthen. And lower down. Lift the heel, other side, pelvis level. Use the buttock on the supporting leg to go into your balance. Shoulders down. Bring that chin in and back just a little bit. And lower down. Stay with what you're doing if this is enough. Challenge your balance if we can though, with your fold. Float your arms up. Hands behind the head. Lengthen. Lift. Lower down. Other side. Lift the heel. Don't hitch. Strong in the standing supporting leg. Into the balance. Take the leg where you need, where you can without hitching. Floating up. Hands behind. Lengthen. And lower. Circle around from there. And just roll the shoulders. Good, give it a little shake. Well done. Okay, everyone okay? Thank you. And take care, everybody. Lots of love.